Hello friends. See, last time we saw about kinematic equation of motion in one dimension by using calculus. Earlier we derived by graphical method. Now today we take some example based on this and then we'll proceed. Now let us say a simple example. See, this can be asked in a VSQ or MCQ. Let us say car moves with a velocity of 36 km per hour. After 10 seconds, its velocity become 72 km per hour. Suppose we have to find out the acceleration of the car and distance covered. Okay, that can be found out by using the equation we derived earlier. See, we derived the equation v is equal to v0 plus at, d is equal to v0 t plus half at square, and d is equal to v square minus v0 square. Okay. Now see, one thing we have to keep in mind, whenever we use, generally we use MKS or SI unit system. So then velocity we should convert kilometer per hour into meter per second. See, we have to remember the simple formula. Kilometer per hour into 10 upon 36 is meter per seconds. See, earlier you used to solve like this 5 upon 18 also. Okay, that will fetch us the same result. Okay, now here, see this initial velocity V0 is 36 into 10 meter per second. That will be our initial velocity. See, the final velocity is 72 into 10 upon 36, 20 meter per second, and the time is 10. Now, see, first we have to find out acceleration. Now our equation v is equal to v0 plus at. See, that will give a is v minus v0 on t. Okay, so now here the final velocity is 20, initial velocity is 10. See, the time given is 10 seconds. See, this will be our first answer. What is the acceleration of the car? Now, secondly, we have to find out the distance covered. See, we have got two equations. See, we will see by both equations we will get the same result. Now, d is equal to v0 t plus half at square. Now, here v0 is 10. See, the time is given as 10 seconds. Plus 1 by 2, a is 1. Okay? Time is 10. So, this is a distance covered. Now, we can use this formula also. That is v square minus v0 square upon 2. Now, see, the final velocity is 20. Acceleration just now we have found out 10. So, it is 400 minus 100 upon 2. What we see here, that by both formula we get the same result. Okay, now see the displacement or distance covered will be in meter. Now we saw how to use the equation we derived. Now see, a similar example is in our textbook. See, that is by Galileo's law of odds. Okay, so that is our example. Okay, now see, here we have to prove that, see, for a free falling object, distance covered in consecutive time interval will be in the proportion of 1 raised to 3 raised to 5. Now, see, earlier we have seen the equation of a free falling object. Now see the distance covered v0 t plus half at square. But see, for a free falling object, v0 is 0 and a is g. So d we get as a 1 by 2 g square. Now, see, the convention will be at our discussion. Let us say this is our See, the free falling object moves like this. Now we say this will be our origin. Now for simplicity, we get downward direction as a positive. Now earlier in the theory part, we saw that this we consider origin, above is a plus and below that is a minus. But see, sometimes for our convenience, we can have our own selection that will make our work easy. Now see, the equation is okay. Now see, at t is equal to 0, let us say distance d1, d is 1 by 2 gt square, okay, 1 by 2 g into, okay. Now let us say at t is equal to 1 second, distance covered is 1 by 2 g 1 square, that is g by 2, okay. Now this we consider, let us say, y. Now see, here we have to find out, see, the distance covered in consecutive time interval, that is between 1 second and 0 second, will be y minus 0 is y. Now let us say at t is equal to 2 seconds, distance covered is 1 by 2 g whole square, okay. Now this will be g by 2g, okay. Now what we see, g by 2, if I take y, okay, so if I to simplify, it will be 4, okay. Y ultimately we have to get in the multiple of, so that will make our 4. Now see, the distance covered in time interval between 2 seconds and 1 second will be 4y minus y will be 3. Now let us say t is equal to 3 seconds. So d is equal to 1 by 2 3 square. Okay. So it is 9 by 2 g. Okay. Now this we can write as 9 into g by 2. Again, see, our g by 2 is y. So this will be 9y. Okay. Now see, the distance covered in time interval of 2 seconds and 1 second, there is a difference of this, will be 9y minus 4y. Yeah, we see, we can continue with this calculation, but we see the distance covered is y, 3y, 5y. So the distance covered will be in the ratio of 1:3:5. See, that is called the Galileo's law of odds. Okay. See, this is our 3.6. Now see, next we have to see about stopping distance. Now see, what is stopping distance? See, suppose a vehicle is moving and we apply the brake. Okay. So the distance covered by the object after applying the brake and it comes to halt is called the stopping distance. Okay. So see, our next topic is okay. Now let us say see, a vehicle is moving with a speed, let us say v0. Now see, by applying brake, okay, see, we are applying retardation. That is nothing but now see, acceleration is denoted as a, retardation will denote as minus a. So what is the meaning of this? The velocity of the vehicle will decrease. So finally it comes to halt or stop. Let us say the distance covered is d. Okay, so that is a distance covered by object after applying brakes is called okay. Now see here, see, we have to calculate stopping distance. Sometimes it is denoted as ds, or we can denote it simply d also. Now see our equation. See, nowhere time is given, so we can use this equation well, v square minus v0 square upon 2. Now see the final velocity is 0. Okay, so we can write v square upon 2a. Now this is the equation of the stopping distance. This distance covered is v square. See, one thing we have to keep in mind, the stopping distance is proportional to square of the velocity. See, what is the meaning of this? Suppose a vehicle is moving at the velocity of 20 km per second and we apply the brake distance covered Vt. But suppose the same vehicle, instead of this, okay, now we have seen the stopping distance is proportional to square of the velocity. So if I take the ratio of this, there will be 2 and square of this will be 4. So distance covered will be 4. So this is important for the MCQ part. Okay, that we have to keep in mind, that stopping distance is proportional to square of the velocity. Okay, now just now we have seen about the stopping distance. Now see, the next topic is a relative displacement. And after this we will see about the relative velocity. Now see our motion is in the one dimension. Let us say this is x equal to 0. Now let us say two objects A and B move in the same direction at t is equal to 0. The position of A, that we call xa at original position. Okay. Now let us say A moves with the velocity v. Now this is the distance x0a, that is the initial position of A, see, with respect to origin. Now let us say the object B at a distance of x0b, see, that is the position of B at t is equal to 0, and B moves in the same direction with the velocity vb. Now see, both move in the same direction. See, we have to find out where and when they meet. Okay. Now, so recall the formula of displacement xf minus xi. See, xf is the final position, xi is the initial position. Now we know velocity is displacement upon time. That is xf minus xi upon t. So we can write Vt is xf minus xi. Xf is xi b into t. Now see, here we write for the two objects A and B. Okay. Now let us say final position of A, xa, is x0a, that is the initial position. Velocity of Va is Va and B. Now similarly, velocity, if we write equation for B, then it will be xb, that is the final position x0b. Okay. Now suppose I have to show on the graph. Okay. Now see, on x-axis we show the time and the y-axis we show the position. Now see, this is x0a, that is the initial position. That is x0a. Now see the final position of B, x0b. See, that is x0b, this is the distance. Now see, we have studied in equality. For any two number A and B, there are three possibilities. See, A is greater than B, A equal to B, A less than B. Okay. Now, see, we take the first case, A is equal to A. So first case we assume that VA is equal to VB. Let us say both move in the same direction. Now, see, if I plot the graph, okay. Now right now we assume that here our x-axis. Okay. Now both move with the same velocity, so the graph will be like this. Okay. Now both move with the same velocity, so in equal time interval they cover equal distance. But see, the initial difference, that is x0 minus x0b minus x0a, will be maintained. So in that case A and B will never meet. So whenever the both objects move in the same direction and the velocity is same, A and B will not meet. Now see the second condition possibility. Let us say A move with the less velocity. Okay. Now see, suppose I want to plot on the graph now. This is again our x0 A and x0 B. Now what we see here, that velocity of A is less than velocity of B. So in a given time interval, because velocity of B is more, see the B will cover larger distance. So what we see, the difference between their distance or position will increase, so they will not be able to meet. So as we have seen, the see the distance between them will be increasing, so A and B. Now see, when VA equal to VB they cannot meet, VA less than VB then they cannot meet. Now see the third possibility. When VA is greater than B. So in a given time interval, the distance covered by A will be more than distance covered by B, then surely they will meet. So we can plot the graph like this. Now this is x0A, this is x0B. Okay. Now see the graph of this will be like, okay, A have a larger velocity, B has small velocity. Now this is the time when they meet, and this will be the position. Okay, here both will meet. So what we can say, their position is same. Okay. Now we have to find out at what time they meet and how much will be the distance covered. Now see, just now we have written the equation XA is equal to x0A plus VA into T. XB is x0B. Okay, but what we have seen, the position is same, so XA is equal to XB, so that is x0A plus VAT x0B plus VBT. So we can write to VAT minus so we can take T common. Okay, so this is the time when both objects will meet each other. Okay, and what is the position? See, now we got the value of x0A is known to us, VA is known to us. So if I substitute T here or here, see, we'll see that we get the both answer. Both values are same. So see, this is about the relative displacement. Okay, so this is about the relative displacement. See, our next topic is relative velocity. Now, right now we consider a very simple situation. Let us say A moves with the velocity VA and B moves with the velocity. Okay. Now, see the relative velocity of A with respect to B is denoted by see, right now we talk only the scalar part. See, more regarding the vector part of this we study in the fourth lesson in detail. Now, similarly, relative velocity of B with respect to A, that is VBA, is given by VB minus B. Okay, we'll see that both value for a given condition will be equal, but their values will be opposite. Now see, in that case, there are four possibilities. First, both move in the same direction. See, for our Cartesian convention, see the right hand side velocity we consider positive and opposite side. Okay. Now, by taking a simple example, we can study this. Now see, let us say VA is 20 meter per second. VB is. Now see, our convention, both move on the right hand side. So both we have to consider positive. So see, what will be VAB? VA minus VB. Now if I find out VBA, okay, see what we have to see. Both, if I talk of the magnitude part, both will be equal. Now see the second case. Both move in the left hand side. Okay. Now let us say VA is again 20 meter per second. VB is 10 meter. Okay. Now VAB will be VA minus VB. Now see, by convention, the velocity in the left hand side we consider negative. So this will be negative and this also will be negative. So it will be minus 10 minus 10 minus 20 plus 10. Okay. Now we find out VBA. VB minus VA. VB is minus 10 minus VA. Okay, here also we see, if we talk of their magnitude will be same. Now see the third possibility, both are approaching each other. Okay, now see the A and B, VA what we see here, both are approaching each other. So right hand side we take positive and left hand side we take negative. So see our VAB, A is positive 20 minus okay. Now VBA okay. Again we see, if we talk only the magnitude part, both will be equal. Now see, here both are approaching each other. Sometimes they ask in the examination, in which condition the relative velocity of object is larger than its velocity alone. See, for simple reason we can see here the velocity of A is 20, velocity of B is 10, but see the relative velocity is 30 meter per second. See, that is larger than individual values. Now see the fourth case is this, when both are moving away each other. See, આપણે હિન્દી પિક્ચરમાં જોઈએ છે કે ચોર એક બાજુ ડાયરેક્શન છે, પોલીસ એના ઓપોઝિટ ડાયરેક્શન. Here we can consider a similar situation. See, our A moves in this direction. See, here also they are moving in opposite direction, but they are approaching each other. That means they are coming to near to each other. Here also they move in the opposite direction, but see they are receding or moving away from each other. Now see again by calculation, our simple calculation, AVA we say take 20 meter per second. Okay, again by convention, left hand side we take negative. Okay, and VB is, and the right hand side we take positive. So see our VAB will be VA minus VB minus 20 minus 10, or VBA So, what we infer from this? See, when they are moving toward each other or receding from each other, the relative velocity is larger than their individual values. Again, we can say A velocity is 20 meter per second, B velocity is 10 meter per second, but see their relative velocity is larger than their individual values. Now see our example 3.9. See the question says, see a train moves in the north direction with a velocity 54 km per hour. That is, we convert in meter per second is 15 meter per second. See the train B moves in the south direction with a velocity of 25 meter per second. Okay. Now see by convention, now this will be our origin. Upward direction velocity we take positive, and the velocity in the downward direction is negative. Now see here, first we have to find out velocity of train B with respect to A. Yes, that is VBA. Okay, see by convention VB have to take negative. That will be our first answer. Secondly, velocity of ground with respect to B. But we know ground is a stationary object, so it is will be G minus VB. This we have to take negative. Now see our third part of the question. See the monkey moves on train A. Now let us say this is our train A, moves in the opposite to the direction of train A. Now with the velocity of 15 meter per second. See, we have to find out the velocity of the monkey with respect to a stationary observer or man on the earth. Now see, for man on the earth, the reference frame is different. So in that sense, see the velocity of the train A is 15 meter per second, and the velocity of train is 15 meter per second. See the velocity of monkey for a given reference frame. See the downward direction we take negative. Okay, so the velocity of monkey observed by man. Now here it is different reference frame, so that velocity will be just sum of the two velocity. Now once opposite direction we consider positive, and this we have to consider in negative direction, so it will be 15, okay, 10 meter per second. Okay, now this is how. Why? Because the man on the earth is a stationary reference frame. So according to him, see there will be sum of the velocity 15 meter per second and 5 meter per second, but we see they are in the opposite direction, so that will be 10 meter per second. Now see, this question was a good example of a relative velocity. See, our train A was in the north direction, train B was in the downward direction. So by convention, by taking this as a origin, okay, north direction we take positive, south direction we took negative, and accordingly the velocity were given as a positive and a negative sign, and by using this we can obtain the relative velocity.